The EHR is really important for three different reasons for me. One, if individual researchers work on their own, it's very difficult to get any new big breakthroughs, and you can never get a unified output or decisions on what your work means. The second reason is, as was evident today, that they're funding young scientists, and it allows, from having the organization, allows different projects to be funded, which is so important. So it's generating funding for young scientists to improve their career and our knowledge. And the third thing, it's conferences like this. We need groups of like-minded people to come together, and the organization allows us to do that by hosting conferences like this too. So very important, and I hope it develops and grows stronger. There's just so much evidence to show that hydration is important to optimizing exercise performance, particularly in the heat, particularly cold hydrated fluids. The brilliant talks today from particularly our younger team who presented was showing that there's physiological stresses in the heart and in the brain itself. There's reduced flow to the brain, and which is what that causes, we're not sure. But it must be related to the negative power outputs and timings that you do when you exercise in a low hydrated state. Also psychologically, when you're dehydrated or if you haven't drunk for a while, your mood goes down, and there's a huge psychology that we're exploring too. So it's not just the body, but there's also the mind seems to be very affected by not having enough fluids. Clearly more research has got to go and unlock the mechanisms, how it works. My work or my speculations or my hypotheses on hyponatremia, because of the fact that in a normal person you don't develop hyponatremia during normal activities, is that during exercise it unmasks or it unlocks perhaps medical syndromes in some people, that they become they don't excrete their fluids, and they become hyponatremic. So my challenge would be for everyone in the field to go and look for clinical symptoms of fluid overload induced by exercise, and the associated changes in your thirst. So I do believe that there's a medical syndrome that affects people that become hyponatremic, and as doctors and as scientists we have to try and understand that. I don't believe it's just how much fluids you ingest, because if you were totally healthy you would ingest the fluids and you would urinate them out. So there has to be something medically wrong in most athletes that get this. Why it happens in exercise, obviously it's a huge stress to your body, and that must unmask in the people that have